Was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good AFC matchup in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jacobs to start the drive, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Throwing his car on third down. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A gain of 3, second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
From the 27, Lawrence escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be two guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Slot man moves right. From the 45 on 2nd down. Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 27 yards. And the Raiders are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Lawrence. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Rolling to his right. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. So after the sack, Carr in Las Vegas with a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll take this down to the 33.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 28. The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. And the Jags grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. All fumbles are costly, but that one really hurts because he had the first down.
Yeah, that's all he needed, right? But the problem is we coach these guys to try and get more, but that doesn't count if you don't bring the ball with you, does it?
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Carr to throw. Steps away. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. He'll get this down to the 38.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On the move to his left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Carr going to throw. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr flush to his right. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Raiders will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this 1st half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this 1st half. That's complete to Travis Etienne out of the backfield. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the 2nd half of this AFC wildcard game. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys. But let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3.
So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Jacobs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Here's Jacobs. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Raiders continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Now Lawrence on 1st down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 114 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Yeah, he will get the 1st down as he's up to the 20-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete here to Waller. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 1st down Raiders, Carr to Waller.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops from one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so. Now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Here's Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Throwing now is Carr. Flushed out right. And that is going to be pulled in one hand. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Carr now to throw. That is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
And I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 130 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From the 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this fourth quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, here comes Jacobs. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. Fourth down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Throwing on second and long. Lawrence. Into the hands of Ingram. And he's going to get some of that yardage back. Still doesn't have a first down, but he does get out of bounds to stop the clock. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here.